coastline. There are 19 beaches close to the city centre to choose from, and I'm sure some of our Eastern States basketballers have been enjoying the beach as they prepare for the game tonight at RAC Arena.
Shelley picks up her dribble, has to heave. Jazz Shelley, are you kidding me? Venom getting Holmes involved. Plenty here, takes contact.
Wow.
First quarter, great work there from Ratuno. Keeps the play alive. Nicholson with the fines. Draws 3 defenders there, kicked out to Frolic. Hit on 1-3, gets the roll.
A three. You can't give up a three, Laurie.
Bullseye.
The race towards the finals intensifies tonight as Hoopsfest continues in the west with Geelong taking on Sydney at RAC Arena. A victory for the Flames tonight will place them on equal wins with 4th place Southside Melbourne and the UC Caps, with 4 rounds left in the WNBL, making tonight a must-win clash. The players and the fans have arrived thanks to Minor Hotels as we get set for Friday night hoops in Perth in the second game of Hoopsfest round. Jess Webster with you tonight alongside a couple of WNBL champions, WNBL champ and Olympian Rachel Jarry and 2-time champion Bet Cole in commentary tonight. Guys, Hoopsfest is here and we've got a great game to look forward to tonight.
We absolutely do. Both of these teams, like you said, are going to be desperate for a win. We know the seasons haven't gone quite to plan, but there's still so much to play for, and they've had 2 really close games already this season, so I'm expecting another close one tonight.
And Flames and Venom, they always play with so much heart, have never say die attitudes. That's why we really can't wait for this matchup. But not only that, the battle of the bigs. Unique Thompson, she's back. We can't wait to see her on that floor. She's been so consistent for the Flames. And then you have MVP contender Mackenzie Holmes on the other end of the floor, who she is just outstanding. So I cannot wait for that battle tonight.
Well, Geelong caused one of the upsets of the season only a couple of weeks ago against Townsville. So can they bring their A game tonight? Our courtside reporter Kelsey Brown caught up with Jazz Shelley a few moments ago.
Jazz, great to be here with you at Hoopsfest. Geelong Venom is facing the Sydney Flames today, and I want to ask about you guys. You go off a 17-point win to a 24-point loss. It seems to be the consistency that you guys are struggling to get. How do you manage that in this game today?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Sydney are a tough component, and we've played against them a few times, and it's always been pretty close. I think we just need to stay disciplined for 40 minutes, and that's probably going to be the key to our consistency.
You're a new leader into the group this year, and part of the leadership side of things is keeping the girls on the same page. The season hasn't gone the way that you wanted it to go, but there's still plenty of the season left. How do you go about your leadership and getting the girls on the same page?
Yeah, it's definitely been tough, and I'm pretty new to a leadership role, so I think that something that I can bring is just positivity, and I've really tried to keep that the whole season. It's difficult at times, and we can get in holes, but I'd try to be the first one to come out of it and try and bring the group up and bring the vibes up.
You talk about the Sydney Flames. They've had your number twice this year. How do you come out with a win today? What are the key components of this game?
Yeah, they move the ball really, really well, and they make the extra pass and they get in the paint really well. They use their bigs awesome. So we just need to lock in on defense, and I think if we can get some stops, our offense kind of speaks for itself if we do get some stops. So that's the key to it today.
Thanks so much for your time, Jazz.
Cool. Thank you.
So in the 2 games that these 2 sides have played so far this season, they were by a combined 11 points. So pretty close game. Sydney by 8 in round 1 and by 3 points in round 7. Geelong snapped a 9-game losing streak with that famous victory over Townsville in round 12 before they lost to the same opponent last week. And as for Sydney, they've rocketed back into finals contention, having won 3 of their past 5. But they're coming off an 11-point loss to Adelaide, and one of their stars in that loss was Agnes Emanopu, who had 18 points, 4 rebounds and 3 steals in that match. And she also spoke with Kelsey.
Agnes, great to be here with you at Hoopsfest. I want to ask you, you've flown in Tuesday game to a Friday game. Are you feeling the buzz around Hoopsfest and being here in Perth?
Yeah, definitely. It's been really awesome so far. The atmosphere is awesome. The fans are awesome. It's just a great environment, yeah.
You guys played on Tuesday against Adelaide. The second quarter is the one that I want to ask about. You gave up 23 points, only managed 13 for yourselves. Was that discussed by Renee and the coaching team in the review?
Definitely. It was also discussed by us players. I feel like we kind of just went away from what we've been doing doing so well the last couple of weeks, so we're looking to get in this game and play all 4 quarters like we usually do.
It's your rookie year this year. You've come into the league, you've set it on fire. How are you feeling within yourself? Do you feel like you're getting better with every single game?
Yeah, I'd say definitely. I feel like Renee and Tom have done a great job of just pouring into me and like giving me a lot of confidence, and it's just been fun playing with the Flames.
Lastly, you are currently 2-0 in the series against Geelong Venom, although the last game went down to the wire into overtime. How do you make sure you clear out the series today?
Yeah, Geelong are a great offensive team. I think for us it's locking down on our defensive scout and just playing our brand of offense and defensive basketball.
Can't wait to see you out there today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelsey.
So it's a massive opportunity for the Sydney Flames tonight. If they win, they'll go level on wins with Southside and the Caps, who are currently in the fight for 4th place. Unique Thompson is the big inclusion tonight. She's missed the last couple of games due to personal reasons, but we look forward to seeing her in action tonight as we get set for tip-off here. Beck and Rach, what can we expect tonight? Or do we expect this game to go down to the wire again, as it has for the last couple of matches?
I think it will go down to the wire. Geelong are averaging the 74.5 points per game, with Sydney with just over 76. So it shows on the offensive end, they're very similar. So like Agnes Emanofu just said, it will come down to the defense.
So Alyssa Pilley into the starting 5 for Geelong. And also a new face in the starting 5 for Sydney, Jess McDowell-White, the first time she's been in the starting 5 since she joined in round 10. The Venom with first possession is Mackenzie Holmes. What an incredible season she's having. Pilley looks to go in the Holmes direction, working on Froling, comes up a little short in her first shot of the night, and Cam with the rebound.
I like the intent from Geelong to go straight inside there to Holmes, get it to your superstar, try and get her on the board early.
Averaging to 21 points and 9 rebounds is Mackenzie Holmes so far this season. Hits Froling through contact, wobbles out. Holmes with an early rebound. Shelley into the corner for Rotunno and gets it back. Works through a perimeter, back to the young gunner Rotunno. They again go to Holmes, who's in fine form. Still can't get her first points of the night, and she gets fouled on this occasion.
And Rach, I'm surprised to see Sydney Flames switching on an on-ball screen when you have the likes of Mackenzie Holmes, who's so good inside. So to me, that looked like that's a defensive plan for them, defensive scheme. So I'm interested to see how long they stay in that switch.
Well, they did do that against Adelaide on Tuesday night, and it didn't work out so well from them. But you know, the thing with switching, you have to switch aggressively. If you're switching on to the person with the ball, you need to have good ball pressure so the rest of the team can help when that big's diving.
Let's check in courtside to Kelsey, who's soaking up the atmosphere at Hoopsfest. Kels, give us the FOMO. What's the vibe like?
Absolutely, the vibe is high here, guys. The crowd is rolling in for our massive doubleheader tonight. It's great to see the WNBL front and centre here at Hoopsfest as we celebrate all things hoops and lifestyle and culture. But I want to point out a big fan of the Sydney Flames. Luke Longley's in the house, 3-time NBA champion is in the building, and he was the first one here for the Sydney Flames. I think he's excited to see if they can go 3-0 against Venom this year.
Love that, Kels. Love that he's there so early as well. Looking forward to a good battle tonight between these two sides. They've given us some thrilling encounters so far this season. Geelong with an early 2-point lead. Holmes hands it off to Shelley, to Rotunno. Open for the 3. She pulls the trigger. Great finish.
We love that, don't we, Beck? She was on fire last Friday night, so hopefully she has the confidence just to be able to let it fly when she's open.
15 points, 5 rebounds in their loss against Townsville for Lily Rotunno. Can. Nice pass to Froling, who converts. Pilley hands it off to Shelley. Calls for some support. Decides to go herself in the end. It's no good. Holmes. Few to beat off the left. Nice job.
She rebounded that ball, had 3 people on her, and still just had the poise and patience and footwork. That's what makes her so good.
Stolen away is Rotunno. Off to heel, off the right. 2 more for Geelong. It's forced an early timeout on the floor as they lead by 7. Early stages opening term here at RAC Arena. Friday Night Hoops. So some early concerns here for the Flames.
Yeah, absolutely. They just look a little bit passive on defense in particular. They're not quite, you know, getting in the lanes, getting deflections, and I'm sure that would have been something that they've spoken about since their game on Tuesday. So just a reset time out here for Renee Camino, just to get them settled, get them into the game. They'll come out with a different intent, hopefully.
Well, Renee Garland, the coach of Sydney, caught up with Kelsey pre-game, and this is what she had to say about Mackenzie Holmes, who already has 4 points so far tonight.
Yeah, Mackenzie Holmes is having an unbelievable season, and she's definitely a great player, and they've got nothing but unbelievable shooters around her as well, which makes that hard to stop. And I mean, we've seen what they're capable of. They just pulled off a big upset a few weeks ago. They've got a lot of shooters and a lot of talent, so we're going to have to be super disciplined and ready to go.
It was Renee pre-game as we exit this timeout here in the first quarter. We might head down to Kelsey, who was around that Sydney huddle at that timeout. Kelsey, what were the messages?
Rach, you are exactly right. It was just to settle it for her. She just wanted to get one message across. She said, one thing that we're not doing is we're not switching the way that we need to. She was happy with where they are, even though they're down 9-2. She said, we're fine here. We just need to go about our business the way that we know how.
Thanks, Kels. For some composure here in the first quarter from the Flames.
And not switching the right way. Rach said it, you need ball pressure, but as a guard, we've always been told if you get switched on, you have to front the post. If we're behind, it's way too easy of a catch.
Strolling taking on Holmes with strength. Smith fires off to Thompson. She also can't get it done. Good rebounding by Froling, then hands it off to Thompson. This time gets the bucket.
That was great persistence there, and Keely Froling's driven the ball in a few times. I really like that from her. She had a great game on Tuesday night, and I think she's got the foot speed to really test both of these bigs for Geelong if she can put it on the floor, get to the bucket.
Peel no good with an early free ball.
And Froling's really came out of that timeout with a lot of energy, both ends. Offensive rebounds on one end, and if you bring that energy on defense, it really can bring your offensive game.
Froling takes it down the floor for the Flames, hands it off to Eminoku. Great form last week. She's in the corner, bounces off the rim, balls to Rotunno. Fires it off to Heel. They can settle through Pilly. Goes for it. No good. Balls to Holmes. Hands it back to Rotunno. Holmes through contact and a couple of defenders. Gets it done.
What patience. She had the mismatch. Gave it back to the guard. Resealed.
Can't respond at the other end. Holmes with a rebound. That's 6 points and 5 rebounds to Mackenzie Holmes already. His heel off the left. No good. Make it 6 points, 6 rebounds for Mackenzie Holmes in this first quarter. Only 5 minutes in.
Well, she's averaging that near double-double with 21.5 points per game, the 9 rebounds. And she's just so good. Her seals inside the key range are so deep. And if her guards penetrate, she really finds that dunker spot so well.
She's always in the right spot, and I like that Geelong are really thinking about their offense so far in this game. They're trying to work the ball to her on the right angles. That's something they haven't always been able to do all season, so it's a positive start.
Heel knocks one down from the perimeter. Strong start to Geelong.
And that's what happens when you get points in the paint early, that it opens up for your shooters out there on the perimeter.
Here's McDowell White in the corner to respond in style. Into the starting 5 for the first time tonight since she joined the club ahead of round 10. She's been very lively. Geelong 16, Sydney 7. Tunno to Holmes. It's been well intercepted by Thompson. Takes it down the floor. Gets the layup. Good to see her back after a couple of weeks out. Venom by 7. Heel into the corner for Pilly. Bounces off the rim, falls to Thompson.
And we know Pili can make those shots. She's done it her college career in the WNBA. They will fall. Again, we've seen it. All it takes is one game, so she needs to stay confident. And Jessica McDowell-White. Speaking of confidence, Jess, she has been so good for the Flames since she has entered that squad.
Certainly has, Beck. She's averaging just under 10 points, 3 rebounds a game. As Thompson adds to a tally, highlighted Jess McDowell-White by 17 points in round 11 against the Caps in their win, 19 points again in round 13. So she's loving a second opportunity here in the WNBL. Here's Eminopu to try and close the gap. Geelong have built in this first quarter, Froling for 2.
That was nice ball movement just then, Rach. Geelong Venom shut them down. They kept the ball moving, found the open Froling for the mid-range.
Sydney have closed to within 4. Geelong have owned most of this opening quarter. Heel step back 3, comes up short. But she does some good defensive work to win it back for her side. Off to Pili, work it to Rotano. Shelley fires. It's no good. White swings it across Eminopu. It's Pili for company. Works her way inside.
There's been subs trying to get in for at least 2 or 3 minutes. These girls have been going up and down for a long time.
High-octane stuff. Oh, good pass. Pili to heel into the corner. Shelley! Not quite. Final 2 minutes of an entertaining opening quarter. Here goes Can all the way herself. Nicely done. And we can all get a break. So a timeout with 1 minute 51 seconds on the clock. Geelong 18, Sydney 16 as we check this out in the Amy replay. Jess McDowell, well, this is Can's layup from a couple of moments ago.
And she did a great job of finding the body of her player, creating that contact, allowing her space to finish the shot. But what I want to shout out is how good are these Hoopsfest jerseys from either teams. We see the Flames here with that beautiful city skyline, the Geelong Venom with the addition of the green and the light blue with the Ferris wheel. It's so cool to see Perth created on these jerseys.
Well, speaking about those jerseys, Beck, there's absolutely no better way to show your club loyalty this WNBL season than repping your favourite player's jersey. Whether you're in the stands or watching from home, you can absolutely wear it with pride. Check out this season's full range of club merch now at WNBLstore.com.au. I wholeheartedly agree, Beck. These jerseys are amazing. Let's head courtside to Kelsey.
I was listening into Chris Lucas then, and it was all about the guards. He said, I want you to be more aggressive on the offensive end, really penetrate, kick it out. That's what's happening to them on the other side of things. And he spoke to Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycard and Mackenzie Holmes, and he said, I need you guys to crash the boards. He also spoke about the substitutions that the other team has brought in. He said, be aware of those people.
Thanks, Kel. So a couple of changes in that last time out. Rotano, Shelley, Sharp, Clinch-Hoycard and Heel on the floor at the moment for the Venom. Here's Clinch-Hoycard. 2 misfires, wins the ball back. Still work it out. Here's Heel, open for 3. It's no good. Tap from Clinch-Hoycard down to Sharp. Swings it across to Heel.
Chris Lucas asked for offensive boards, and Alex Sharp and Clinch-Hoycard have done exactly that.
Shot clock's ticking down. They go to Sharp. Couple to beat and converts. They did it the hard way in the end, Venom, but they got the points.
They did, but again, they're having patience. They're seeing the switches, trying to get mismatches. But I do like that Chris Lucas spoke about the guards being more aggressive. I think a few times they've had the bigs on them out on the perimeter, and they can look to attack the mismatch that way as well.
Eminopu to Pittman. Wide open for 3. Nails it!
Whenever Pittman comes on the court, she just brings a great spark of energy. She really, again, it starts on the defensive end, and she just plays her role at the offensive end of the court. So great to see her hit her first shot.
So they've closed the gap, the Flames. Geelong with a hot start. They've responded. Swain onto the floor as well for the Flames. Pittman, Swain, Eminopu, McSpatter, McDowell-White. These last 30 seconds, he's heeled it inbound for Geelong. And the referees spotted something in amongst all of that. And it'll be a Sydney ball. Final 20 seconds at RAC Arena. Friday Night Hoops. Great battle unfolding between Geelong and Sydney. Eminopu to hand the Flames the lead. She'll head to the line.
Great take there. She's just got such a strong body that when she puts her head down like that, she's so hard to guard, and she's got the strength when she's got, you know, someone like Lily Rotuno on her. So she needs to continue to be aggressive. We saw that on Tuesday night, and good to see her start like that now.
And the best game of the season last week, and they lost to Adelaide. 18 points, 4 rebounds, a season high for Agnes Eminopu. She's an 80% free throw shooter. 2 from 2 here, and the Flames have the lead for the first time. Coach Garlett will be happy with their response after Geelong shot out of the blocks. Geelong have 12 seconds to snatch the lead back. Hill runs it down the floor. Down to 5 seconds. They hand it off to Clinch Hoycard. Into the corner for Woolley. Bounces off the rim. And that'll do us for quarter time. The Sydney Flames, late in that first quarter, got into the lead. They lead 21-20 over Geelong. Well, overlooking the Swan River and Perth city skyline, the stunning Kings Park and Botanic Garden is one of the largest inner city parks in the world. At 400 hectares, it's bigger than Central Park in New York, and it's home to more than 3,000 species of the state's native flora. quarter time at RAC Arena in the West. A hard-fought opening quarter between the Geelong Venom and the Sydney Flames. The Flames with their noses in front, 21-20 at the first break. Jess Webster with you in commentary tonight alongside Rachel Jarry, Bert Cole and Kelsey Brown, who's courtside for us tonight. Kelsey around the Sydney huddle at quarter time. They must be pleased with how they fought back in that opening term.
Absolutely, she was. Renee Garlett, her main message was that we'd calm down, we'd move the ball, we trusted the switches. It was a great recovery from a very slow start for them. She's given Carla Pittman the green light to get into a two-man game with Keely Froling. And on the other side of the fence, Venom, no Jazz Shelley to start this quarter. She's out with 2 fouls at the moment, so expect her to be injected back in, but no starting for her in this term.
Thanks, Kels. Mackenzie Holmes on fire in that opening quarter. 10 points, 8 rebounds already. One of the stars of the competition this year. Here she is receiving from Clint Hoycart and adds to a tally.
On cue, but you know, Jazz Shelley in foul trouble hurts the Venom, and every game where she has got into foul trouble, their offense has really struggled. So hopefully they can keep it together because she's already got 4 assists. So she is the one, you know, having the patience, moving the ball, getting it inside.
That's a second triple for Carla Pittman. One in the first quarter, one in the second. Game high 4-point lead to the Flames. What did you make of the opening quarter, Beck?
I think it was a great game. I think it's going to be a 40-minute one, down to the wire. They've had close matchups before. And like I said pre-game, they're just two teams that play with a lot of heart. And even though the latter might not currently show exactly where they should be, they just have a never-say-die attitude and are always fighting. So it's been a good one.
Clint Hoycart for 3. Can't get it done. It spills to Shanice Swain. Sweeping pass is a good one to Froling. Misses the bucket. Heel, but good defense from Froling. Pittman back to Froling, and she gets fouled. She's off to the line for a couple. It's an interesting one, Rach, because these two teams have been so disrupted the entire season with injuries and unavailabilities and all sorts of things. So we probably actually haven't really seen the best of them, but a win late in the season, regardless of whether or not Sydney will make finals, will be something that we're really hungry for.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Sydney will still have finals in the back of their mind, although, you know, a win tonight certainly helps, but it is still going to be tough. But, you know, at this stage of the season, you do want to finish the season well with you know, good culture, good habits, because, you know, we go into the off-season, both clubs are going to want to recruit new players. They want to keep, you know, their core of players that they've got as well. It's just so important not to let the season peter out and, you know, have issues where people go, I don't want to go to that club.
Alyssa Brett can't get her first points of the night. Hilly wins the rebound and gets the bucket.
And that'll be good for Pilly, just to see one go through the net. That'll give her some confidence for her next shots.
Now, speaking of disruption, poor Alyssa Pilley had an ankle injury in round 1, was out for several weeks, came back for 1 week, was out for the next few with illness, made her return last week against Townsville. There's only a few more weeks before the WNBL finals, so don't miss your chance to catch a game live this summer. It's a perfect family day out, packed with energy, atmosphere, and unforgettable moments. There's nothing like being in the crowd and part of the action. So scan the QR code on your screen now or visit WNBL.com.au to find a game near you and get your tickets. Sydney with a 5-point advantage, 29-24. Sharp hands it off to Heel. Backward steps. Back to Heel. Now they go in the Pilly direction. And through contact, finishes.
And I like that. She told Shyla Hill, pass it back to the wing. I want the ball inside now. She had the mismatch, and she's just too strong. Great move and great confidence by Pilly.
Came to Australia with some WNBA experience. Hasn't been the season she would have liked for Geelong, but she completes the M1 here. Gets her side to within 2. And Minopu combines with Thompson. And they go to Cam. Thompson, mid-range 2, can't get it done. Another rebound to Mackenzie Holmes. She has already got a double-double. 12 points, 10 rebounds. 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
She's so impressive, and she shoots the ball at 56%. And I think that's what makes you like her even more, because she's shooting all the right shots, but Rach, she just never gets sped up.
No, she's got so much poise, and you know, she's just had such a great season. But like you said, she shoots it so efficiently. We see her get the ball inside.
Really couldn't quite convert.
But she's only had 7 shots in this game already, and she's up to 12 points. Like, she's someone that we've said all season needs to be shooting more, but she can't do any more than what she's doing at the moment.
Coming off back-to-back double-doubles, Mackenzie Holmes is her 3rd consecutive double-double. This is Alyssa Brett at the line. Back to a 1-point ball game.
But the Flames just definitely need to work on their rebounding right now. That is what is keeping Geelong in this game. Venom are leading 20-12, and they're currently sitting on 9 offensive rebounds. That's just too many.
And Minopu to McSpadden. Works away inside. Nice finish. Pilly off the glass for 2.
Great pass from Shelley in there. Just perfect little look-away bounce pass.
And you said it before, Rach, she just has a great balance of finding her own shot, but then finding her bigs inside when she knows that they need to get going.
It's Mackenzie Holmes. Stunning form to start this contest. She misses that opportunity. She is causing headaches for the Flames at the moment. Dal White handing it off to Eminofu. Spadden, well read by Jazz Shelley, is back out onto the floor. Takes it down the other end and converts a good work.
Doing what Jazz Shelley does best this season, getting steals up in the lanes. And Venom looks so good in offensive trans.
Rolling works away inside, gets fouled on the way through. Let's take a look on the Amy replay. Jazz Shelley with the steal. I'm not sure, did she have her eye on the ball when she got her hand in there? We'll give her the credit. She's been such a consistent performer for Geelong all season. As has Keely Froling. She makes the first. That rolls in, 2 from 2. 8 points, 5 rebounds for Keely Froling in Sydney with some breathing space in the second quarter. Shelley, Brett wide open for 3. Can't get it done. Kenzie Holmes keeps it alive to Pilly, and they go back to Shelley. Shot clock's ticking down. They hand it to Mackenzie Holmes. Now they go to Pilly, who's looking ominous in this contest as she gets fouled.
That's tough. Caught that with one hand, did a little pirouette. And she's like, finally, I got a foul called for me. But she's been working so hard down there, and it's great to see because it helps the likes of Holmes just have another big, strong body in there. Then they can play post to post, or it creates attention away from her. Now they all go to Pilly. Then it goes, who do you guard?
Draws, scores level with her first, and hands Geelong the lead with her second. These two sides have played some thrillers so far in WNBL26. Sydney by 8 in round 1, and by 3 in round 7. So combined 11 points. This one has been neck and neck so far. Foul going against Geelong. Let's take another look at it.
And I think they've actually maybe called that on the Flames, and that's Emma Nopu's 3rd foul. So coming off a great game, we know she added that scoreboard pressure for Flames. We know she already does that at the defensive end, so she's been great so far in this game. But use that to your advantage now, Geelong, now that she's off the floor.
Timeout here in the second quarter, Geelong 34, Sydney 33. So an interesting stage of the second quarter. The Flames by a point at quarter time. Geelong now with their noses in front here in the second. Agnes and Manoku are going to spend some time on the bench. How are you seeing things play out, Rach?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a tight tussle at the moment, but, you know, Geelong are really taking advantage of the switchy defence of Sydney and getting the ball inside. So, I don't know, if I was Sydney, Beck, I think I would look at changing something up. I think they're getting the ball inside with ease.
I agree with you, Rach. It's keeping them with Geelong, but they're not getting stops. And in order to win this game, you need to get stops as well as scores. So I think maybe they go in at half-time and it's something they change up. But you said they stayed with it against that game in Adelaide, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
A tight contest unfolding here at RAC Arena as we come out of a timeout here in the second quarter. Geelong 34, Sydney 33. Kelsey Brown's courtside for us tonight. Kelsey, around the Flames huddle at that timeout. What did Coach Renee Garlop have to say?
Well, it was all about the defensive end. She said it doesn't matter who your matchup is. Find someone early and stick with it. It's okay. We can get stuck, but we come out of it with discipline. She asked for a lot more discipline on the defensive end. Offensively, she's happy with the shots that they're getting. She's like, they will hit eventually. I'm happy with that end. It's more about the defensive end and our discipline.
So Pilly having a break. She's up to 11 points. Just her 4th game of the season. Geelong now have the advantage by 3. Dow White. That one can't rattle in. As McSpadden wears some contact.
And both teams are in the bonus now, so it's going to be interesting. A long 5 minutes where we're probably going to see a few foul shots. So there's going to need to be a little bit of, dare I say it, foul discipline, which I feel like we say most games. But, you know, 5 minutes is a long time. You don't want to be giving up easy foul shots from, you know, nothing fouls.
Lara McSpadden, an 80% free throw shooter this season. She's a perfect 2 from 2.
We see some of the Illawarra Hawks boys there on the sideline. This is what we love about Hoopsfest, is the combination of the NBL and the WNBL coming together, giving the fans what they want, lots of basketball action.
Absolutely. Vibes are high in the West at the moment. You got a favourite memory from any Perth matches, Beck?
Well, I was actually at Hoopfest last year, Jessica, and I will say I had a great time. One, I'm a beach girlie, so I loved going there for recovery, playing a bit of Vortex on the beach, as well as being in the city, staying there, going and eating some healthy, yummy foods. It was such a good time. Obviously, I was there to work, but I had a great time. Off court too.
Work hard, play hard, Beck.
Amen. But Rach, you and I have had a few nice road trips together to Perth.
Absolutely, but, you know, I'm trying to think of memorable games. I don't know, thinking about Sammy Whitcomb and the likes of Amy Atwell and all those amazing Perth ladies hitting threes on us. I think I just remember, you know, the beaches much more fondly than some of those games.
Oh, in the championship, it was game 2. Mercedes Russell had a shot on the buzzer. We brought it back home to Southside Flyers. Got it done. So that's pretty memorable, because if we lost that, we were out.
My word. That's a wonderful part of the world. And we're witnessing a great game at WNBL at the moment. Geelong 39, Sydney 35. Here's Can for 3.
Can she do it? Yes, she can.
We need to swap chairs, Beck. Love your work. Back to a 1-point ball game. Here's Woolley into the action. Comes up short. Rebound to Unique Thompson. Crowley works it to Can. With Dow White over the top. Thompson. Now handing it to Pittman. Kashiju against Shelley. She's under an immense amount of pressure. Shot clock's ticking down. Oh, wonderful pass from McDowell. White to Thompson, just couldn't convert. Wins it back and gets the job done off the left. Sydney back in front. Shyla Hill goes all the way herself. That bobbles in.
And she's so good at that, isn't she, Rach? Just finishing with contact. She makes it look easy.
She does.
Thompson to Pittman, wide open. Can't convert. Off to Shelley, runs it down the floor. Mackenzie Holmes, too good.
What a nice pass in transition.
I don't know how that made it there, but it was pretty.
It's me down courtside. I just want to ask you a quick question. Shanice Swain, she's only played 3 minutes in the game so far as Keeley goes to the rack, can't get the and one. But about Shanice Swain, she hasn't played in the second term. She's coming off a 20-point game. She had 18 points in the first half, the last outing that they played. Do they need to inject her more into the game? I feel like she's someone that can potentially break this one apart with Venom leading by 3 at the moment.
She certainly is, but, you know, the thing for me with Shanice Swain, we know she's had a little bit of an up and down season, is sometimes her shot selection is probably not exactly what Sydney will want, and we know she can get lights out like she did in the first half on Tuesday night, but she just hasn't quite got that same, she hasn't hit her first shot or two tonight, so hopefully they can get her out there, they can get her a good look and try and get her on the board, but she is certainly someone that can come in and absolutely change the game.
She's like a microwave, right? She can get hot in a second.
2 minutes to play. Geelong by 2, 43-41 as we head to a timeout here in the second quarter. Little has separated these two sides all match. Sydney by 1 at quarter time. Their finals hopes are on the line tonight. Dropped a game last week that they would have liked to have won against Adelaide. Prior to that, they'd won 3 out of their last 4 to rocket themselves back into top 4 contention. So some important messages being said at the moment. Coming up tomorrow, Hoopsfest continues in the West. A massive weekend of WNBL action. And we've got Southside, who are hunting a top 4 position. They currently hold 4th spot, but the challenges are coming. Adelaide, can they make it 2 in a row and cause an upset on the run home to finals? We look forward to that battle tomorrow night.
That will be a good game, Jess. Like you said, Flyers are in 4th, but they want to remain there. So Adelaide could come out, have a big upset game. I think they're a good matchup, both of those teams. So again, Hoopsfest just providing the basketball entertainment.
Let's head courtside to Kelsey. You were around the Geelong huddle, Kels, at that last time out.
Yes, it's been a theme for Chris Lucas in this game. It's been all about the offensive rebounds, and he wasn't happy with what they've put out in this second term. He said all it's ending up in is fouls or foul shots. We need to make sure we take care of those offensive rebounds.
Scores are level. Final 2 minutes of an entertaining opening half. Friday Night Hoops. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're watching as Pilly makes it count.
That was a nicely executed play from Geelong there. Great cut with purpose and found Pilly wide open.
Just had a bright start to this match. 13 points. Isn't it great to see, Rach?
It is. They've missed that, other big that can consistently score and rebound. So it's great to see her out there and playing well.
Pittman up to 8 points. Draw scores level once again. Here's Pilly from downtown.
She's feeling it.
16 points for Alyssa Pilly. Wonderful to see her back in a big way through contact. She's going to head to the charity stripe for a couple of shots. Let's take another look. Alyssa Pilley. Bang.
And then it just makes you so much harder to guard when you are doing it inside, but then also shooting well beyond the arc. This is a great start for Pilley, and I'm sure Chris Lucas is very happy with how she's performing and helping her team right now.
It's got to feel good when you've been out for so long. You can finally have a good run at it during a match, and the buckets start to flow and you start to feel it.
Absolutely, and she's stayed out of foul trouble in this game, which is so important. The last couple of games that she's actually played, she's gotten into foul trouble early and just hasn't been able to get any consistency into her game. So we see it here tonight, and this is exactly why Geelong recruited her.
Geelong by 2. Here, working away inside, puts it up, it's no good. Thompson fights for the rebound, it spills to Ratunno, keeps it alive for Geelong. And the young gun produce. Oh. Go to Pilley, in ominous form tonight.
Too strong.
Yeah. Again, great passing from the guards though.
Yep.
It's great passing, they're finding her man, but Pilley is doing her work early and having a big target hand, great steal, making it easy for the guards, but she's finishing so well inside the paint.
There's Mackenzie Holmes causing headaches in the first quarter now. It's Alyssa Pilley in the second as Unique Thompson gets herself a bucket.
Oh, and a tech.
Yeah, just had some feedback for the referee.
She's been great tonight though, and you know, we know she's been away overseas with certain personal circumstances, so it's great to see her back tonight, and just feeling a little bit frustrated there, but I think she was hard done by. I think she probably could have been getting an ad one on that one.
And we know what it's like when you're busting your bum down the other end of the floor, defending the likes of Holmes and Pilley, and then you go down the other end and you're working just as hard just to get a shot. We've all been there.
Absolutely.
Alyssa Pilley, what an opening half to her. 19 points, a couple of rebounds as well. Final few seconds, Jazz Shelley puts it up.
Oh! Shelley, what the hell?
What an end to the opening half here. Friday night WNBL hoops. In Hoopsfest, Jazz Shelley is just running and bouncing off court. And why wouldn't you? What a shot to end the first half. Geelong Venom now out to a 6-point lead, 54-48. What an end to that second quarter by Geelong Venom. They played like this a couple of weeks ago against Townsville, didn't they, Beck? They just showed up on game day and said, this is what we've got. We don't care who we're playing. We'll show you our best.
And that had to be their best game of the season, and they've definitely shown some snippets of that tonight. And Rach said it earlier, the execution of their offense and finding their big guys.
A dominant force in the opening half was Alyssa Pilley. She's got 19 points as she's downstairs with Kelsey.
Absolutely, she's been a dominant force. Alyssa, how have you seen that first half? A dominant performance by you, 19 points, but a great one for the team.
I mean, I think we're just playing together and we're finding our advantages and just sticking to it. I mean, we just keep going to what they can't stop, and until they stop it, we're going to keep doing it.
This matchup between you and the Sydney Flames has always come down to very close margins. How do you push it out in this second half? What do you think Chris Lucas will have to say?
I think just taking care of the ball, and it comes down to possessions. I think every possession matters, and it's going to come to that, I think, to win this game, defensively and offensively.
Can't wait to see more Pilley brilliance after this.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks to Alyssa and Kelsey. What an opening half. We're witnessing Friday Night Hoops. Geelong at halftime lead Sydney 54-48. Our experts, Rach, Jerry and Beck Cole, are going to break down the first half. After this, stay with us.
That's just our style.
As part of Hoopsfest Perth, the Fan Zone runs in partnership with the City of Perth, transforming Forest Place into a vibrant basketball hub right in the heart of the CBD. The precinct is alive with DJs, food trucks, giveaways, merchandise and sponsor activations, creating a welcoming festival space for locals, visitors and families. Hoopsfest is certainly here in the West this weekend, and what a treat they're witnessing at the moment. Halftime here at RAC Arena. It is Geelong leading Sydney by 6 points after the Flames led by 1 point at quarter time. Jess Webster with you alongside Rachel, Jarry and Beck Cole. Rach and Beck, what a great opening half we've seen.
Oh, what a great game to start with. Both teams have, executed well at both ends of the floor, but, Geelong have been particularly special, attacking inside, attacking the switching defence of Sydney and getting it to their big girls in Holmes and Pilley.
It's an interesting opening half. The Flames, as I mentioned, fought back in that first quarter to take the lead by 1 point. Geelong finished the second quarter in a flurry to take the lead back. These are the halftime highlights. First quarter was dominated by Mackenzie Holmes. Then Alyssa Pilley came alive in the second for Geelong. It's been a really interesting opening half so far.
It has, and I think this is what everyone has been waiting for. Pilley to be better, to find her form and see Holmes and Pilley go at it together. But a big credit to the Venom guards who have just been going inside. And like Pilley said at halftime with Kelsey, keep going till the well dries up. And it shows Venom is sitting at 17 assists at halftime.
This is the Blackmores head-to-head. Beck, you were looking forward to the battle of the bigs all night. Pilley against Froling. They have their work cut out for them, as they mentioned, coming up against Holmes and Pilley.
They sure do. Rach, like we said, they might want to switch up their defensive schemes and stop switching the pick and rolls right now. But Froling's really come in with some great energy, and she could be a real impact player that can change the game for the Flames.
Guess the benefit, Rach, for Sydney is they still have a lot of players who can make an impact in the second half. When we think about the likes of Unique Thompson or Shanice Swain, they do have weapons on their roster who can really lift when they need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're not playing badly by any means. I think there's just a few things to clean up, particularly at the defensive end. But, down offensive end, they're having no trouble scoring. They're on 48 points. They've got multiple contributors. They're getting the ball inside. I think they just want to, lock down a little bit more on defence so that they can get some of their fast breaks, some of their easy points that Geelong have been able to get down the other end of the floor.
That was some of the highlights from Mackenzie Holmes. She's got 15 points, 12 rebounds in the opening half. She had a double-double at quarter time. It was absolutely incredible. But what a season she is having. This is her forward shot chart. What a player she's been.
She absolutely is. She was amazing and just gets into the right spots. And, we've continually mentioned the switching defence of Sydney, but she just took full advantage. And even when Sydney were trying to send a double team, it didn't matter. She was too deep inside the key and able to turn and score. And she's going to absolutely love having a Alyssa Pilley in form as well.
Absolutely. So the Sydney Flames trying to keep their finals chances alive tonight. Geelong have other ideas at halftime. They currently lead by 6 points. We've got a massive third quarter coming up. Well, Rottnest Island is famous for its laid-back atmosphere and beautiful beaches. And it lies just 19 kilometres offshore from Perth, surrounded by the Indian Ocean. Rottnest is a car-free zone, and hiring a bicycle is the best way to get around. Rotto is also home to the world's happiest animal, the quokka. The island has received a major boost to its accommodation offering with the opening of glamping eco-resort Discovery Rottnest Island, luxury hotel Sapphire Rottnest and a newly opened lodge Wodgemup. So lovely place is Rottnest Island indeed. Well, the fans are absolutely loving at the moment. Hoopsfest in the West, a massive weekend of basketball to come, and as part of the Fan Zone Spectacular, thanks to the City of Perth, fans will have the chance to meet NBL and WNBL players with club appearances taking place each and every day. The jam-packed timetable includes skill sessions, competitions, a pop-up half-court to open, shoot-arounds, 3x3 hustle events, a Special Olympics showcase and athlete signing sessions.
Climbing up the whole mountain. Anything you want. Everybody say what? Could be the whole villain. Build it like a beginning.
welcome back to the WNBL here at RAC Arena. The Venom currently lead the Sydney Flames by 6 at the major break, and I found a very special guest. On Instagram, the WNBL ran a competition to win tickets to Hoopsfest. I've got the winner right here with me. It's Josh. Josh, give me your first insights and look at Hoopsfest. How much have you loved it?
Hoopsfest has been incredible. It's such a great experience, the vibe. Everyone's here from all over the world, all over the country, just getting into basketball, enjoying both the WNBL and the NBL. It's been fantastic.
You've got a camera right here. You won the competition, but you're also someone who photographs the Sydney Kings and the Sydney Flames. You were telling me off air you've got a favourite player for the Sydney Flames, though.
Of course, Unique Thompson is my favourite player. She's amazing. She's got style, she's got energy, she's got passion, and her name's Unique. I mean, could it be any more perfect?
Absolutely, it couldn't be more perfect. The one thing we love to celebrate here at Hoopsfest is the basketball, is the culture, is the uniqueness and the lifestyle of everything. We've got Luke Longley in the back, we've got everyone here. But can you tell us, how was the flight over from Sydney to Perth, and what are you looking forward to the most out of the next 2 days?
The flight was spectacularly long. It's a long way. And I guess what I'm looking forward to most is just soaking it all in, you know, like we got to see the Kings play last night. We're getting to see the Flames play now. And tonight we see the home team, the Wildcats, go at it. So I'm just loving every minute. It's great.
Josh is an amazing ambassador of basketball. He's here, he's won the competition. Go and enjoy the rest of your time at Hoopsfest and go Flames, according to Josh.
Thanks, Gals and Josh. As we see Luke Longley soaking up the action at the moment. What a game we witnessed in the opening half. So much basketball to be played across the NBL and WNBL competitions this weekend. There's no better place to be at the moment than in WA at halftime. Geelong 54, Sydney 48. Jess Webster with you alongside Rachel Jarry and Beck Cole.
It's great to see Jason Kadee there as well. Rach and I went to the Australian Institute of Sport with him. He enjoyed his first season out of in retirement, so good to see him enjoying some WNBL action.
What are we going to get in the second half, Rach?
Well, hopefully more of the same. It was a very entertaining first half, but just looking at the stats, interesting for me, it was, well, not interesting. I think everyone watching would be able to pick up on this, but Geelong 32 points in the paint to Sydney's 18. So for me, Sydney are going to have to find a way to get those bigs out of the paint, make Geelong score from the outside. They're the worst three-point shooting team in the competition. Make them beat you from the outside.
Sydney shooting at 42% from three-point range tonight against Geelong's 29%. Sydney by a point at quarter time. Geelong have flipped the script to lead by 6 at half time. Great battle unfolding at the moment as we get started for the third. Mackenzie Holmes is on fire in the first half. Pilly on fire in the second quarter. She adds to a tally here and takes it to 21.
Again, great execution. Chris Lucas will be very happy with that. But keep going to the well till it dries up.
Shanice Swain starting the third quarter for the Flames and immediately gets herself a bucket. Geelong looking to capitalise on the fast transition. Holmes through contact. She was fired up about it as well. 17 points, 12 rebounds and a couple of blocks for Mackenzie Holmes already tonight.
That's the last thing you want off a made shot, isn't it? An easy transition offense to the other team. They're big, getting straight back inside the key.
She's just so poised.
Yeah.
Whether she's executing in the half court or in transition, as we saw there, little pump fake, got her defenders up in the air, made her way to the line, and Shelley, ooh, almost with another steal.
Swain, oh, Shelley again. Couple goes at it. Swain regains her composure, finds it off to Frolling. Now wants to take on Holmes, works her way inside. Deflection by Holmes. It spills to Can on the buzzer, gets the bucket. Alyssa Pilly handing it off to Rotunno. Running around the perimeter to Heel in the corner, pulls the trigger and knocks it down.
Again, Rach, just another well-executed play. There was Jazz Shelley coming off a double stacker. The defense turned their head, got concerned with that. Shyla Hill was coming off a single. Great play.
Hill works the baseline. Lovely pass to Can, who finishes off the glass.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move by Swain there and great cutting by Can. But yeah, when I said earlier, Beck, that make Geelong beat you from the outside, I didn't mean leave Shyla Hill wide open.
Hill to Pilley, pops it up for 2, rolls out. Thompson with the rebound. She get herself going in the second half. 10.6 rebounds. That breaks down at the other end. Shyla Hill on the Amy replay. Feet set, eyes lit up. Shelley in the corner runs the baseline and goes with a reverse. Nicely done.
It looks like a bit of a change up into a zone from Sydney on the last couple of possessions, but there wasn't a lot of movement or urgency in the zone, so hopefully they can clean up on the next play.
Thompson off to Throlling, working hard against Holmes. Again stands tall in defence. And where's some contact?
And we can tell how much this game and this win means to either team. It's physical, they're going at it. As we see there, it's been a tough one, and it's going to be another battle for another couple of quarters.
That was Holmes' 4th block. 4 assists, 12 rebounds, 18 points. Absolutely stuffing the stat sheet tonight.
Quadruple double watch too early.
Not the way she's going. Pilley too strong, too good.
She's too strong. You need someone to come and help in that situation. Keely Frolling's a great defender, but Alyssa Pilley is in just too great a form to not have any help.
Geelong have dominated this third quarter so far as we go to a timeout here in the third. They lead 66-54. So they piled on here, Geelong, in the third quarter. 12 points to Sydney's 6 to blow it out now to a 12-point margin. And we say blow it out because it's been neck and neck all night. So this is really a handy advantage now to Geelong.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly feels like they've got the momentum. They know what the winning formula to this game is, and that's continuing to go inside. But like you said, Mackenzie Holmes stuffing the stat sheet, but she is such a willing passer, and I think when she can get on the perimeter, you know, teams are so focused on her that it's really opening everything up for Pilley, and Sydney are not quite sure how to defend that at this point.
It must be so pleasing for Coach Chris Lucas to have both Holmes and Pilley dominate the same game. We haven't seen it all season.
We haven't, and we spoke about it earlier. Pilley's had a very disrupted season, so for both bigs to be out there in form, Chris Lucas is saying hallelujah.
Geelong by 12 as we exit a timeout here in the third quarter. Jess Webster with you alongside Rachel Jarry, Beck Cole, and courtside for us is Kelsey Brown as Holmes steals it away. Can she finish off her good work? She absolutely can, Kels. You were at the Sydney huddle at that last timeout. How are they going to arrest the momentum that Geelong have built?
Yeah, she wasn't not going to be happy with that one, Renee Garlap. That's not what she asked for. She actually had a pretty firm message. It was now or never. With the deficit out to 12 points, it is now or never. She wants a little bit more to go through Unique Thompson. But the concerning point at halftime, the points in the paint was 32-18. Outside of Shyla Hill's 3-point, the rest have been points in the paint. So that's something that the Sydney Flames need to clean up.
Thanks, Kels. A few headaches for the Sydney Flames at the moment.
And we've seen Eminopu start on the bench due to foul trouble. It'll be interesting to see when Coach Garlap wants to inject her back into the lineup, bring some of that defensive energy that she can and just IQ.
It's knocked away from Hill and out of bounds. Shyla Hill averaging 16 points in 11 games after a delayed start to the season. She is handing it off to Ratunno. They go to Holmes. Back to Hill. Can't convert from outside the perimeter. Froling takes it away. McDowell White. Back to Shanice Swain. Can she get going here for the Flames? She certainly can produce some highlights.
She loves a little step back three, doesn't she, Rach? It's so good to watch when they drop.
I mean, it's impossible to guard that in that situation. So Rotuno did everything she could, but Swain just better offense.
Holmes against McDowell White. Adds to a tally. She's growing to 22 points and 12 rebounds for Mackenzie Holmes. Swain in the corner. Can't make back-to-back triples. Sharp with a rebound. Runs it down the floor with authority. Hands it off to Rotuno into Heel. She pulled the trigger again from outside the arc. No, this time looks to go in the Holmes direction. Now they go to Rotuno in the corner. Works it back to Heel. Reset this time, accelerates, pops it up on the right to get the bucket.
Tough finish again, but I like that. She got the ball inside, they got it back outside, and then Heel attacked the mismatch. She had Unique Thompson guarding her.
Frolling up against Sharp, working really hard. Just couldn't quite convert. Good defense from the Venom. Sharp, a little bit too much on the pass. Oh, and it's going to be a foul. As we take a look on the Amy replay, Shanice Swain, step back three, perfection. She could be key to Sydney's comeback if they are to get back into this contest.
Well, you do feel, you get the sense that they need some sort of spark just to get them going. And, you know, now I think Unique Thompson's gone to the bench, I think, with her third foul. So she's going to sit for a little bit. So they need the likes of Swain to step up, get their scoreboard ticking over, get them back into this game.
Shelley, good defense from Manopu, who's back out onto the floor. Hands it off to Swain. Gets around Shelley, drives aggressively to the bucket and draws the contact. Averages of 10 points in 17 games, Shanice Swain. Been a bit of an up and down year. She's a 60% free throw shooter, but at her best, she is one of the most damaging players in this competition.
The fans want them burgers on a Friday night.
The people of Perth are going to be having burgers all weekend, I feel, with so many games at Hoopfest.
Maybe in the men's game, not the WNBL.
Not when Shanice Swain is shooting free throws.
She takes a deep breath. Makes it 2 from 2 and denies the fans burgers for the moment. Swain's got 8 points at the moment. Sydney looking to get themselves back here in the third quarter. Geelong have opened up a handicap. They led by 6 at half-time. Currently in double digits. Pilly, quick hands into the corner. That one drops in. That's a big triple from Alyssa Brett.
That was nice ball movement. Shelley with the penetration to Pilly. Pilly didn't even, that was like a hot potato. It did not stick in her hands. And Brett, we all know she can shoot. Now they get a stop down the other end.
Travel is called. Take another look at this ball movement.
And that's their 23rd assist. It just shows how well that they're passing to each other, looking after the ball as well. Only 5 turnovers. They're playing just a great, well-rounded game tonight.
Pilly is on fire tonight. How good is it seeing Alyssa Pilly at her best?
It must feel so good for her. I'm so happy for her because, you know, she's had such a tough time, come overseas for a season away and just had a really hard go at it. So it's good to see her out there at Hoopsfest, absolutely killing it.
Jazz Shelley handing it off to Sharp. This ball movement and connection from Geelong has really hit its peak here in the third quarter. They're out to a 19-point lead, 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and we're heading to another timeout. Sydney have some issues at the moment. Well, it's a massive weekend of basketball in the West. One beat, one city, all ball. Hoopsfest is finally here. You can see all the NBL and WNBL teams do battle at RAC Arena. It's Australasia's biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival. It's taken over WA with all the big stars, including Bryce Cotton there, plus NBL legend Allen Iverson. Make sure you get your tickets now. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit hoopsfest.com.au. So we've got a very pleased Coach Chris Lucas on screen at the moment. They've opened up a 19-point lead here in the third quarter. And it's warning signs now, Beck, for Sydney.
It is, and we heard Renee at halftime saying it all comes down to defense. They need to get stops. And like you said earlier, Rach, their scoring is pretty good. But if you can't stop them, we see Pilley and Holmes are just causing an absolute ruckus inside the paint. I think you have to switch it up. They're definitely trying, giving all their effort, but Venom are just executing too well. But I think if they can pressure up the floor, maybe they go into a full court press, back into a zone, make Venom have to double guess what they're running.
3 minutes for Sydney to generate some momentum here towards three-quarter time. Kels was around the Flames huddle at that last timeout. Kels, what did you pick up?
Scarlett was definitely frustrated, but she set them a task. She said it's 19 points at the moment. That helps from Carla Pittman. She set them a task to get it down to 10 by the three-quarter time break.
Set themselves a target. See what they can do at their defensive end. Because Geelong have definitely found their flow and connection. Sharp off to Pilley, who's been dominant. And this time handing it off to Sharp, who draws the foul. Pilley up to 26 points. She might have Mackenzie Holmes' season record in her sights. Chasing down Mackenzie Holmes, 34 points in round 11 against Perth is the best by an individual so far this season. Pilley has 26 with a quarter and a bit to play. The way she's going, you'd probably back her in.
Absolutely. Keep going to her.
Sharp nails the second. Dow White takes it away for the Flames, handing it off to Pittman. Runs the baseline off to Emma Nopu. It was great last week, just hasn't quite found her range so far tonight. Still stuck on the 2 points.
Yeah, great cut, but Sydney just feel a little rushed on their finishes. They're not staying poised like we're seeing Geelong down the other end. They just need to take a little bit more time on those shots inside. They've got more time than they think. So that's why, you know, they haven't been able to, like you say, find their range.
That's a 5th team foul on Sydney. Still just over 2 minutes, and that foul's going to hurt them at this stage in the game. If, like Renee said, you want to chip away and bring it down to 10 points going into that fourth quarter.
The lead continues to grow here for Geelong. 82, Sydney 63. Stolen away by Pilley, knocks it to Shelley from the perimeter.
That hurts Sydney. Just a really unforced error, and Jazz Shelley doing what Jazz Shelley does.
So a double-double, watch 10.7 assists for Jazz Shelley. 2 minutes for Sydney to work with here in the third. Rolling looks to hand it off to Pittman. Now they go to McDowell White from the wing. Bounces off the rim. Sharp with a rebound. Geelong want to continue their advantage here. Heel works away inside up against Pittman. Comes up short. Pilley can't reel it in, and it's taken away by Caitlin Martin, who's into the action for the Flames, handing it off to Froling, who loses the ball. Shelley races away. Puts it up, and it doesn't get the roll.
She didn't get the roll, but that's her 4th steal. And she said Chris allows her to be the roamer, but it just shows how well that she can read the plays, because that is impressive. And this season, she's been absolutely great at that. But it's good to see Flames go down the other end off a miss and get an easy basket.
Pilly, 28 points and counting.
Speaking of easy baskets, that was far too easy. Elisa Pilly just waltzing into a layup there.
Can't leave her unchecked in the form that she's in tonight. Martin handing it off to Froling. Eminopu. And that's an offensive foul. Geelong have answered the challenge from Sydney in this third quarter.
Now we're seeing the Perth Wildcats boys rolling in their hometown. It's just so great to see the basketball community all together. It's not often that it happens, so to have a place like Perth with Hoopsfest, bringing the basketball, the culture, the music, the fashion, and all the activities that you can do as a spectator. What a time.
Oh, Alex Shah from outside the arc. They are blowing them away in this third quarter. Final few seconds. Froling goes for it. And it's no good. Shyla Hill puts it up and can't get it done. What a dominant third quarter from the Geelong Venom. They lead 90-65 at three-quarter time. Known as Frio to the locals, here you can explore narrow streets lined with historic buildings, enjoy fresh seafood at the Fremantle Fishing Boat Harbour, sample local brews at one of the many breweries, and choose from a variety of funky cafes, boutique bars and top restaurants. All this and much more at the Port City of Fremantle, located less than 30 minutes from Perth CBD.
Friday night hoops in the WNBL. We're here at RAC Arena for Hoopsfest, and it's the Geelong Venom leading the Sydney Flames by 25 heading into the final term. I listened in to Chris Lucas at the timeout. He spoke about defensively that being their best quarter of the season. Their containment, their boxing out was second to none. He was very impressed with that. On the other side of things, Renee Garlip, she said this is pretty bad. This is pretty ugly, this scoreline. When we walk out of this break, I want you to definitely try to have a better quarter. I want this to be a line in the sand moment.
Thanks, Kel. Strong words from Renee Garlip at three-quarter time. Only put 17 points on the board as Martin fires for three. It's no good. Geelong added 35 to their tally in a dominant third quarter.
It is really important for Sydney to try and win this quarter. You know, they've made such progress in the last few weeks. We've seen, you know, we've been able to see the improvement in their play. So they don't want to let this blow out any further. It just can be a little bit demoralising for a team at this stage of the season. So they need to stay together, stick to what's been working for them the last few games and finish this game off strong.
Aminoku handing it off to Martin, receives it back and accelerates. Where's contact? Hasn't really got going tonight, Aminoku, after dominant performance last week against Adelaide. She had 18 points, and just the 2 for her tonight. She's 2 from 2 at the line. Doubles her tally early in this last quarter. So Sydney led by a point at quarter time. Geelong with a 6-point advantage at half time, and they would open at three-quarter time thanks to a 35-17 third quarter. Kenzie Holmes and Alyssa Pilley dominant tonight. Holmes comes up short. Thompson takes it down the floor. Now handing it off to Martin. They work it into the corner for McDowell White. Now to Norris, into the corner for Aminoku. It's no good. Holmes with another rebound, her 13th. Her and Pilley have combined for 50 points tonight. Shelley to Heel. Mid-range 2, misfires. Foul is called. So Aminoku, Martin, Norris, McDowell, White and Thompson to start this final quarter for Sydney. Shelley, Brett, Sharp, Hill and Holmes. So Alyssa Pilley on the bench to start the last quarter after 28 points at three-quarter time.
And just subbed in, I think. Just subbed in. To get our scoring record for the season.
Norris for 3. Can't get it done. Pilley cleans it up. She loses at a rare fumble for Pilley tonight. Probably the only thing that she's done wrong.
Well, it'll be actually interesting how she runs out this last quarter. She's obviously not really been able to get a full game, and I'm sure she's been able to get, you know, a few full practices, but Geelong have had a heavy load over the last few weeks, so, you know, it'll be good for her to be able to run the game out when they do have such a lead to try and build her fitness.
Yeah, just played the 12.5 minutes roughly last week against Townsville.
We spoke about Sydney wanting to finish this game strong, and Coach Renee Garlop really wants that. But on the other hand, if you're Geelong Venom, you also want to finish this last 7.5 minutes like the rest of the game. Finish the way you've been playing, play another 40 minutes, and then you go into next game feeling really good about what you've just done, because they've earned this win, which it looks like right now with how they're playing.
Beck, just off that, they've won by 17 points over Townsville. Then they lost by 24 points. Now they're with a massive lead here at RAC Arena. For you, what is the issue with Geelong Venom and their consistency? How do they find consistency around not the big blowout wins or losses?
Yeah, the big word there, Kels, is definitely consistency. And I think a big one for me is the balance of the guards finding their own shot as well as going inside. And when they are up, is just keep going to the same actions that are working for them, exactly like they did in Townsville, exactly like tonight. Brett wants to get in on the action here. And again, it just stems from their defense being up and in and doing their schemes correctly.
And further to that, Beck, we just saw an example where, you know, they got it to their big in Pilley, who's been so great, but she's also a willing passer. So when she gets the ball inside, if she's not able to score, she can find the guards again on the wing so they can get their shot. So I think that's me, yeah, like being the issue with Geelong is often the ball doesn't move, it sticks in one player's hand.
On the Amy replay, there's another look at the Alyssa Brett, 3-ball a couple of moments ago. Nice no-look pass as well from Pili. Brett knocks it down. And we speak about, you know, Sydney having a lot to play for, trying to keep themselves in the finals hunt. Geelong don't want to finish bottom of the ladder either. So they've got 4 wins to the season. A win tonight will take them level on wins with Adelaide in 7th position. So they probably think, we don't think we're a bottom of the table team this season. So we definitely are trying to keep those wins ticking along, particularly in the back end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
They play Adelaide next week as well.
No one wants to finish last. So there's still something to play for. Definitely, Jess.
.29 points the margin. Spatten fights for it to Swain. Into the corner. And Froling gets a triple. 14 points, 7 rebounds. Her return tonight. Rotunno takes it down the floor, handing it off to Holmes, who was denied on the first attempt. He gets the bucket on the second. Kenzie Holmes, what a night. 26 points, 15 rebounds, 4 blocks, 5 assists.
Machine.
Yeah, she has just not stopped working, has she? Just up and down the floor, going for every rebound. Incredible work ethic.
And Chris Lucas says, you've earned a break, my friend. Come sit down.
What do you think Chris Lucas will be most pleased about tonight? We spoke a little bit earlier about how we haven't seen the Pili and Holmes combination really all season. So is that kind of one thing? Would he be going, finally, I finally get to, you know, see these 2 stars in action and combine so well and put on massive scores? Or is it their attitude? Because we have, you know, talked about their, you know, energy and intensity throughout the season as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think, you know, when you plan a season as a coach, you go in with the roster that you're expecting to have, and then this season's thrown up all sorts of different things for Geelong, and you know, they've had so many injury issues, and that's contributed to their inconsistency and some really close losses early in the season. So I'm sure he would just be relieved to have Pili out there and playing so well that it gives everyone an opportunity to see, you know, what almost could have been for this Geelong team and what he was expecting to get out of the season. So yeah, it's a relief, and just to have that extra big body out there, and it allows the girls to play with a bit more freedom, a bit more ball movement, and they've been great to watch tonight.
98 plays 70. Clinch Hoycard handing it off to Brett, now by the hands of Rotunno. Back to Pili, hands it off to Brett. He's got the hot hand of Lane. That's another one for Alyssa Brett. They get 3 triples.
Again, the extra pass. Giving up a good shot for a great shot. 32 assists. Are you kidding me?
And I said earlier that Geelong have been the worst 3-point shooting percentage team, but they're shooting at 45% tonight, and I think that's just come off the hard work of those big girls inside. They've really made Sydney have to think about how they're defending inside, and then opened up everything on the perimeter. And once your team's rolling like this, you're feeling good, and when you get an open shot, it's going down.
Swain finds herself at the charity stripe. Geelong potentially chasing down their biggest ever win this season too, which is 34 points against Adelaide in round 2. Swain eats into that deficit. And we're going to head to a timeout here in the last quarter. 4 minutes and 21 seconds left. Geelong 101, leading Sydney 72. So the run home for Geelong. Adelaide, Bendigo, Sydney and the Caps. So they'll be eyeing, I think, a few wins in the run home potentially. Maybe causing a few headaches with a couple of teams still in the frame for top 4 positions. And for Sydney, they played Perth, Geelong and Perth in their final 3 games.
And I was just speaking about assists, ladies, and the highest recorded this year is 32, which Geelong Venom is on, by the Southside Flyers when they won 113-94 over the Sydney Flames. So in the last 4.5 minutes, can Geelong get one more and they'll hold the record for this season. And that is a very impressive achievement.
Let's say courtside to Kelsey, who was at the Geelong huddle at that last timeout. Kels, must be a pretty good vibe down there at the moment in the Venom camp.
It was, but it's great to see Chris Lucas always asking for more, especially from this Venom team who's so far up at the moment. The reason for the timeout, he said, was I think it's just getting a little bit sloppy. That's the old us. That's what we've seen from us in the past, but he's been demanding more of each of them for this last 4 minutes of the game, which I think is special to see.
Yeah, you make a good point, Kels. Doesn't want them to rest on their laurels a little bit, make sure they finish strong. And Manopu misfires. Their joy card. Handing it off. Have you guys been in that position before where you've got such a big lead and the coach calls a timeout and says, game's not over yet, guys. I want to see more.
Absolutely. And I made my feelings clear last week when I think about late timeouts in a blowout. But it is true. You do want to finish positively because you do take this momentum into the next game, and how you finish the game does affect how you feel as a team. So it is important to finish it off strong.
And Manopu for three, knocks it down. Three minutes to go. Can Geelong increase their lead? So the biggest win, as we mentioned, was against Adelaide. 34 points in round 2. He's home.
Oh.
It moved delightful.
Put him on the spin cycle. Look at those stats. Incredible. She said, Pilly, you ain't taking my record, girl.
So they're both on 28 points, so there's still time left. The season, individual season high for any player is Mackenzie Holmes with 34 points a couple of weeks ago. Off the right and goes to ground. Didn't get the call. Geelong's lead is 28. McSpadden draws the foul. Mackenzie Holmes, just 25 years of age. The American import. Debut WNBL season. Is she an MVP contention? We speak about Izzy Borlase as probably being the front runner.
Well,
Holmes,
we have this discussion a lot.
Yeah.
Her numbers, MVP for sure. But this is what a lot of people, I guess, are on the fence about is, do you have to be in the top 4 to be an MVP compared to the bottom 4? So I guess really it's your own personal opinion, but her numbers are stating MVP contender for sure.
Absolutely.
So regardless of ladder position, Annalie Maley, Izzy Borlase, Mackenzie Holmes, who's had the best season?
Borlase for me. But I take into account ladder position. I can't not.
Take all of that away. Who is the best player?
Oh no, I can't answer that. They're all so different, but so great. And each of their teams would be so different without all of them. So that's like picking a favorite child. I know I'm my mum's favorite, but you just can't do it.
But it is an interesting discussion.
It is,
absolutely. Like, if you took one of those players out of their side, how much would that disrupt it?
I think it disrupts Bendigo the most for me.
Beck, got any thoughts to add?
Yeah, I agree with Rach. She has been incredible this season, especially offensively. And I think if you got rid of her, she would make a huge impact. But like I said, you just can't compare. One's a guard, one's a post, and it's so hard. And I just think we're blessed to have all these players in the WNBL.
Absolutely. I think we can all agree we look forward to the awards night to see who is going to take home the award for sure. To the final minute here at RAC Arena. Sydney led by a point at quarter time, but Geelong have dominated since. They led by 6 points at halftime, 24 at three-quarter time. They're on their way to another big victory here tonight. Sharp can't add to the tally. They fire it out to Rattano. He also misfires from deep. McSpadden with a rebound. Dow White handing it off. Miller's onto the floor, getting some game time for the Flames. McDowell White handing it to Emma Nopu. Someone also bounces off the rim. Mole also getting some minutes for the Venom. She runs it down the floor and hands it off to Sharp. They'll enjoy these last 30 seconds here, Geelong. Another strong win in the back end of the season for them. They took down Townsville just 2 weeks ago. Here they are. Clinch Hoycard comes up short. The seconds tick down. Shanice Swain for a late match highlight. And what an impressive performance it has been from the Geelong Venom tonight over in the West. And they take down the Sydney Flames 105-77, one of their best wins of the season. And did it in style. The Flames had the early advantage in the first quarter, but Geelong answered the call thanks to two dominant performances from Mackenzie Holmes and Alyssa Pilley, both finishing on 28 points for the match. Alyssa Pilley in just her 4th game, what a disrupted season she's had with ankle injuries and illness. And we saw what she is capable of tonight. She was a dominant force, and ultimately Sydney just didn't quite have the answers to the dynamic duo of Pilley and Holmes. They'll be pretty satisfied to head over to the West in Hoopsfest this weekend on Friday night hoops. And they were very, very impressive. And for Sydney, it makes it pretty tough now for them to remain in the hunt for a top 4 position. Back-to-back losses against Geelong and Adelaide last week really hurt their chances now, and they finished their season with 2 matches against Perth in round 15 and 17. Another rematch against Geelong in round 16. This Geelong Venom outfit finishing full of momentum. They'll next face Adelaide next week. Bendigo, another matchup against the Flames to come in round 16, and a final matchup against the Caps in round 17. So they'll soak up the atmosphere here at RAC Arena. What a vibe it is at Perth at the moment. Got to get those selfies.
Selfie time. Their little winning selfie they do every time they win.
Another great attendance in the house tonight. Great to see so many basketball fans over in the West supporting the WNBL. What a win it was for the Geelong Venom tonight as we head courtside to Kelsey.
Yes, I've got a couple of star imports. They just mentioned that to me. They're like, let's give it up for the imports. Mackenzie Holmes, Alyssa Pilley, a massive game for you both. Mackenzie, I'll start with you. Jazz Shelley pulled you all in there. Can you give us some insight into what was said between the team?
I think she just said, we stuck to the game plan all 40 minutes. They fought back early in that first half, but we just continued to keep our foot down and keep pushing the pace.
For you, Alyssa, a massive one for you. You've come out, you've played more minutes than you have across the season. It's been a disrupted one for you. Did you feel good out there today?
Yes, finally. I think I finally felt like myself again. It's been a rough ride over here in Australia, but the team, my coaches, everybody's been super great support system. So, I'm just glad we got the win.
Absolutely. It was a massive win at that one. Mackenzie, speak to us about being out there. The two of you haven't had much time together. How nice was it to have her back for more time on court tonight?
Yeah, we talked about how that very first game of the season, we were finally starting to build some chemistry. So the fact that we're able to feel that again, and I think she's being humble. She's had to work extremely hard to get back to this position. So I'm super grateful to be playing alongside of her. Admired her whole college career. So just really happy to have her back.
I love when people talk up their teammates. Alyssa, last one here. Chris Lucas, we know that he speaks so much about standards and defensively. What do you think he will have to say after that win? A massive message from him about what you guys can potentially do for the next 5 games.
Yeah, obviously the season didn't go as we wanted it to, but, our message in practice and before games and everything is just we could finish the season strong, and I think we went out here and did that. We still have a lot we need to work on, definitely the first half, but we cleaned it up a little bit in the second half, so I'm sure he'll be happy with our win.
Have you enjoyed Hoopsfest, lastly, both of you? Have you loved Perth, being around this beautiful, awesome festival of basketball that we've got?
Yeah, it's a great setup they have here. Really, great attraction for Australian basketball, men's and women's. So I think a few of us are going to stick around and watch some of this NBL game. So,
are you staying around as well? Do you have any plans left in Perth?
We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
You got to go and recover. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Joint MVPs, the two imports, they were absolutely impressive today.
Thanks so much, Kels. Love your work, Rach and Beck. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the dynamic duo tonight. We'll start with Mackenzie Holmes, and I'm just going to rattle off her stats again. 28 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks, and she's shot 63% from the field, Rach. Incredible.
Incredible, you said it. She is just so efficient. We said it during the game. She's always in the right spot. She's moving to the correct positions, and you know, now with Alyssa Pili, teams aren't going to be able to help as much as they were. So she's going to find herself even more open, I think, as the season progresses. And just, you know, the way Geelong move the ball to get it inside to her and to Pili, it's something that they can replicate going forward. I think, you know, at times when they've played really well, it's been a little bit of outside hero ball, but this is something they can actually do every single game that will get them wins.
I think look out for any other opposition side of the run home. If they can get Pili and Holmes combining like they have done tonight, look out. Beck, what I loved hearing from Alyssa Pili in her post-game interview, she said, I felt like myself, and aren't we glad to have witnessed what she can do out there on the court tonight.
Oh, and we've said it multiple times, is she has been really missed in this Venom squad, and when she plays overseas in the WNBA, you know, her role is different. When she comes here, it's her time to shine. For her to put in the work, finally be back on court in the form that she wished she could have played from the start of the season, and seeing what she did today, so great, not for her, but also basketball fans here who have been waiting all season for this. And we see here again, 28 points, 10 from 14 field goals, 4 rebounds, and add the 7 assists. And we know we've seen a couple drop for her tonight. She's lethal from the 3-point line, but how great is it to hear Holmes and Pili just talk about each other, the respect that they have. That's what you want to see from your teammates.
Absolutely. I would have mentioned, like, pre-season as well, about how much they would have loved to have played against each other and cause some damage, and they certainly did that tonight. So both finished on 28 points. Absolutely incredible performances from Pili and Holmes. 5 players in double figures. One of them was Jazz Shelley. Well, nearly on double-double watch. She had 12 points, 7 assists, 4 steals tonight. Beck, but you spoke earlier about the role that Chris Lucas gives her the freedom to play.
Yeah, she said, look, I'm a bit of a roamer. He allows me to play that off-ball basketball, and she just reads it so well. Her IQ has been amazing, and she had that 4 steals today, but her balance of finding her own score as well as assists was just, she had a great game tonight in that guard position.
Really helped set up the play for her teammates, did Jazz Shelley, has been one of their consistent performers all season. So Pili and the Holmes with the 28 points, Shelley and Heel with the 12 each, and Alyssa Brett also on 11 points. So what a night it was for the Geelong Venom. They beat the Sydney Flames by 28 points. We'll be back after the break to wrap it all up. Western Australia spans more than 2.5 million square kilometres, roughly the size of Western Europe. WA is a melting pot of rich cultural, ethnic and religious diversity and identify with more than 100 religious faiths. It's home to the world's largest collection of wildflowers with more than 12,000 species, 60% of which aren't found anywhere else on Earth. And it has one of the world's longest whale watching seasons from May until December each year. The state enjoys a wide range of climates from tropical in the north to Mediterranean in the south, meaning you'll always find summer somewhere in WA. Western Australia is where dream events happen. A great night here at Hoopsfest in the West. Geelong winners by 28 points over the Sydney Flames. These are the match stats to full time. Jess Webster with you alongside Rachel, Jarry and Bet Cole. Dominant performance from Geelong. They'll be so pleased with how they went about things from start to finish tonight.
They sure will. They shot the ball at 51%, and that shows that the shot selection was good. And that comes from their execution on offense, their ball movement, making those extra passes, and they did it. 33 assists, and now the team leader for the amount of assists this season. So that's another thing that they can celebrate along with this win.
And just 6 turnovers, that's so impressive. We know that this season they are the best team at looking after the ball, but for me, sometimes I feel like that's because they haven't, been making passes enough. They haven't, been trying to look for their inside plays. So you couldn't say that about them tonight. They made the right passes at the right times and able to look after the ball so well as well.
What's it like as a player, Rach, when you've had a season like Geelong's? They've had injuries, multiple injuries. Think about Gemma Potter did an ACL midway through the year. Shayla Hill had a delayed start to the season with an ankle injury. Alyssa Pilley's in and out. And when you haven't been able to get your roster out there, and we're in round 14 at the moment, so to finally get the stars out there. How tough is it as a player to just kind of keep going through the season at times like these?
Oh, it can be really tough, particularly when the losses start to mount up. It is a little bit of it can be a grind when you go into training and you're just thinking, oh, this is getting really hard. But I think it's a sign of a good culture and good people that they've been able to work through it. They've got some players back. We know they're still obviously missing Gemma Potter, who's out for the season, but they looked really great tonight. So I think that is, the sign of good culture, good teammates, and yeah, just very, very impressive tonight.
And Beck, as a former captain of the Southside Flyers as well, how important is leadership in, times like this as well to keep the group galvanised and be able to keep their heads up, particularly for the games to come in the season?
Oh, it's huge. When you have a season like this, you have to celebrate the small wins. You have to keep going to training every week, getting better. But leadership, it's just not all relied on Jazz Shelley. It's a team thing, and you can tell that they lift each other up. They're always cheering. They're with each other through the highs and lows that sport brings. But what she provides to the group, even small things that you say in huddles or understanding your teammates, what makes you tick will be different to Rach. And so you really have to know and be friends with your teammates and help them in any way you can. But I think, like Rach said, the culture just looks so great there. Even if they do have a loss, they're always getting around each other and always giving 110%.
And we need to remember too, this is a new franchise as well. Geelong came into the competition last year under Geelong United, rebranded as Geelong Venom. So they're creating so much from the ground up. So they're going to have these little bumps along the roads, but they can certainly hold their heads high as we take a look at some of the second half highlights. Mackenzie Holmes and Alyssa Pilley each finished with 28 points. I reckon Alyssa Pilley, from the moment she stepped out on the court tonight, she said, I'm going to be dominant. I reckon she had that look in her eye from the opening tip-off.
She was certainly in a mood, wasn't she? She was just ready to go, and you just heard in that post-game interview, it was almost like relief. She was like, finally I was given a good run at it where I could play a full game, no foul trouble, no injuries. So we love to see it, and this Geelong team, hopefully they continue to play like this, because if they can finish the season, even though, we know they're not going to probably make finals, but if they finish the season on a roll and they can feel like they're going, they finish the season, they want to come back next year, they still want to be together, it's just such a great feeling.
And I guess Beck, Sydney are the flip side of where Geelong were at, because Lauren Nicholson out for the remainder of the year with a quad injury as well. They had Izzy Morgan as well. She's done for the year with a foot injury. Olivia Pupo is also still out with concussion. So they're battling it at the moment as well. So it's an unfortunate sort of back end of the season for the Flames in terms of their roster. But these are Shayla Hill's highlights from tonight. Again, she's another one we spoke about having a delayed start to the season with a knee injury. But she has since certainly found her form and doing great things for the Venom.
She sure is, and I love when her game is mixing up that finding my own shot as well as getting it into the bigs, and she did a great job at that tonight. And again, she just must be so happy to get another win in the Venom colours. She got her first one when they beat the Townsville Fire, and you can tell she's a baller and she's having fun out there. And when you're injured and you finally get back on the court, it just feels so good.
And such a competitor, as we know. It took her 10 matches in Geelong colours to get her first win against Townsville a couple of weeks ago. So she's got 2 wins in 3 weeks. So no doubt Charlotte Hill will be absolutely thrilled with that. But another great performance from her, one of 5 players in double digits for Geelong tonight. This is the Bunnings Warehouse ladder as we turn our attention towards finals. So the top 3, Townsville have now taken over top spot. Perth and Bendigo in the top 3, and that race for 4th really gets interesting. Southside, the Caps, you think probably Sydney can't make it now. Out of Southside and the Caps though, Rachel Beck, who do you reckon is going to take that last spot?
I think Southside are in the box seat at the moment. They've just started to click, and I've been impressed by some of the things that they're doing. They've got still 3 games against Adelaide, so I think the winner of that series is going to be very interesting and telling to who makes that top 4.
Still so much to play out, Beck, isn't there?
There sure is, and adding off the back of you, Rach, the run home for the Flyers, I think they're at a bit more of an advantage compared to the UC Caps.
So Hoopsfest continues tomorrow, Sunday, and a doubleheader on Tuesday as well. We've got the Flyers taking on Adelaide, so a massive game for them tomorrow. Townsville up against the Caps, who then back it up against the Adelaide Lightning. And then all eyes turn towards Tuesday night, a massive clash between Perth Lynx and Townsville Fire to close out round 14. A massive round of WNBL action. It's Hoopsfest in Perth this weekend, a festival of basketball, and we had a treat tonight. Geelong beat Sydney by 28 points to win their 5th game of the season. Thanks for your company wherever you're tuned in tonight, and we'll see you again very soon.